get it. Or it gets you headed. Shirley jacked up, double barrel, shots. Either you're there or you're not. True vulture, my man. Why you want what I got? The money was the red dot on your brow rubber clock. Get down the hell drop, add your whole lot. Plastic bitch for your eye. But don't nobody know what. True vulture, my man. It's money, man. Your money is money, man. Fuck the job. I'll take the mic in my hand, cuz. Who don't understand? Who don't understand? Who don't understand? True vulture, my man. But the gang goes up, go take it where? Through like a hole in your head. Go burying your dead. Nothing spare at the bed. Collateral damage. Fuck, you're expendable. Spectacular cabbage still in stacks in the stupid dough. Use it to exit this dead and massive cubicle. Take the death by the funeral for bounding gags individuals. Am I savage? Hell yeah, like you didn't know. Future primitive digital. Black Google visual. When I read a red ball skirt and bust my back line original. Days and time and official. Oh shit, that's so federal. Real talk represented. Don't ever forget it, ho. It's money, man. Your money is money, man. Fuck the job. I'll take the mic in my hand, cuz. Who don't understand? Who don't understand? Who don't understand? True vulture, my mind. Waffles will never know. Fucking performance all I broadcast is original, no different from the recorded transmission. Fuck the studio. Two black and blue bitches, so that they my blue look capital. It's money, man. Try to hang but got black. But I'm black blue too. Flame the whack to do. Stimulate that ass like smoke. Eat a cap and watch the face, smoke the face of the moon. Will I take your location and buy the way to get blown? Your money's my money, man. What's up in the struggle? Get down with it or get gagged by the laws of the jungle. It's money, man. Your money is money, man. Fuck the job. I'll take the mic in my hand, cuz. Who don't understand? Who don't understand? Who don't understand? True vulture, my man. Bones the killer, Bones the killer, Bones the killer. Bones the killer, Bones the killer, Bones the killer. When you start talking, I don't listen. Just wait for you to finish. And when you're done, I say that's crazy. Really? Oh yeah, but lately I don't reply. It's been denied. Sometimes I shine, sometimes I'm on, sometimes I look away and nod. Sometimes I give no reply and watch your eyes break like a dog. Don't waste your breath, the time was up before it started. When you arrived, I had already departed. Catch on fire, crash and burn, forever riding that worm, cause the worm. Rose got hard, clutch a war, hammer the rod. Never answer when they ask me what. Never matter, pass on the lies like what happens after we die. Cross the edge, that's just the mob. Blood flow like it's all the time. This running flesh, I want to run. Cock it back, watch it clap. Holiday and it's lost to love. We just have fit in yards, grabbing dogs off the leash. From man to man, as we beat, get the fuck out on that heat. Go out there, buddy, with the ring. So love battle, talk to battle, try to down through the whole beat. Follow the Lord, go on the streets, then back me up for some speed. Bones the killer, Bones the killer, Bones the killer. Bones the killer, Bones the killer, Bones the killer. Reload the barrel and creep like a wolf among sheep. See how we bum us a wig and watch them dusty off feet. Can't knock the asphalt, cold and mystique. Crack the code and lock the vault, make off with all that we sit. In the shadow of the view, black, breeze, flame in the floor. It's just feeling like a brick bottom. Every day, every night, every day, giving less of a shit. Goes fly to the eye of a shadow, that's my sis bottom. Up so high, tall, bigger, more this cliff bottom. To the sky, out the sky, where it is. Where the fuck is it? Why did it happen like this? Bottom, so far, to the sky, a black mist. 2, 3, 4, 5, we must die, this is it. Bottom, see blood is sleazy, we forget that you can roam out that crushing battle. At the speed of mystery, Joe, we push the dollar through its soul and wear yellow. The funeral, magic carpet hollers, handing out the way they go. Like a heart that keeps me low. Oh yeah, what? Are you sure that it's tonight? Cause if it's not, I might get caught. The purification of your system, unexpected, don't wanna be the victim.
New music, the right time. Starting 3, 2, 1, go. Whoa, no. Which one is it? Say something. Yeah, okay. We're good. We're good. We're all good now. All right. All right. I'm thinking we're back.
Let me know. Let me know when
We're
we're
on. We're
good.
on. We're good. We're all good now. Everything's good. Everything's fine.
Nice.
Everything's fine, guys.
All right. Well, I'm not good yet. Actually, we're not completely fine. I'm trying to figure out how to get my mic working.
I'm not good either. I got emotional problems.
Let's talk about it.
Fuck. I love this. I love this so much. Wow, everyone's so creative.
Everyone.
Everyone. Wow, I can't believe it. Jeez Louise, jeez Louise. I'm using a new microphone, everyone, and it's sounding terrific.
You
Probably.
do sound good. You
Hopefully.
sound great.
Hopefully
I'm trying to get
everyone
my.
can acknowledge that.
No, you do sound great. I don't hear any sort of reverb or any echo or anything. I'm trying to get my mic working though, and that's you're gonna have to give me a little bit before. I'm gonna have to do a couple of tests before we're working over here.
Yeah, yeah, this was a $6,000 microphone that was used by the Beatles one time. This is a microphone that George Harrison fired on at the
Yeah, so I'm tired. No complaining. I'm tired of hearing complaining in the comments.
I'm tired of it. All you ever do is complain.
It's ridiculous, dude. We've spent a lot on it. We've
We
this
s-
is high production.
we spent too much money on this.
All right, so we have a couple of other guests here, but they can't actually speak. They're doing sign language.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, we got Paul McCartney in the corner right there.
he, that's messed up. Don't do that.
What do you mean? He's not deaf.
Show some respect.
For who? He's alive.
He is alive.
Yes, he's not the one that got,
Oh,
his brain blasted in Coney Island or whatever.
oh, okay, 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 cool.
Yeah, he's probably the only one that's still alive. That's interesting.
Is Rosie still alive?
Rose?
Yeah.
Yeah. We were talking about what were we talking about? We were talking about Italian traditions. No,
Some WAP shit.
we weren't talking about that. I don't know what the fuck we're talking about. Uh, oh no, I'm freezing
I
up.
I
Oh
just
no.
moved out of I just moved out of some like Italians. I was living with Italians, and honestly, the amount of oil that I was consuming on a regular basis, because they put so much oil in every meal that my heart started feeling tight. Um, I had to stop. I had to stop smoking.
You were setting your body on fire.
Yeah, I stopped smoking though. I stopped smoking completely because I lived with Italians. I do not consume tobacco anymore. Um, I can hold on. I'm I'm still trying to get the microphone working, so I'm
I
multitasking.
started smoking tobacco actually.
That's good. It's the best habit. I think anyone. I did it, for way too long, 15 years, but I think everybody should smoke tobacco for at least a decade. It's like takes like at least a decade to start hurting you, so you should. I mean,
Exactly.
why would why wouldn't you? You know what I mean?
Bro, you ever like smoke like a stogie while like taking a bubble bath after like a long day of gaming?
Yeah, dude.
It's fucking
Of course.
it's great.
I rolled a spliff and I put a couple of nuggets of wax inside the spliff and I smoked that while taking a shit. In fact, I wouldn't have been able to take a shit if I didn't like that gnarly spliff.
That's great. That's so great.
It's just how it is. It's how it is. When you're on opiates, you can't just, you know, take a dump whenever you want. It's not that easy. You have to kind of plan it out. I would go 2 weeks without taking a shit because I have an opiate addiction, so it's like my options are I wake up and be dope sick for 5, 10, 15 minutes, or I could just boom, wake up, do a shot. More often than not, I already have like one waiting for me. So as soon as I wake up, I just grab it and stick it in my nuts or whatever, and then be good. But once every 2 weeks, I'd have to plan it out. Like I'd have to have enough time to not be dope sick, or not be on drugs to actually. Because once you inject the opiates into your body, you're constipated. It's an instant like constant. I don't know what they call that. A, an anti-laxative, something like that.
So like
What's it?
it makes you constipated.
Yeah. What's the terminology?
I don't know.
Yeah. A delaxative,
Delaxative.
some sort of delousing.
This sounds like
I, this is the truth that no one else is gonna tell you. Um, hold on. Make a prank call. Start dialing somebody while I get this mic
got it,
working.
got it, got it, got it. Um oh,
Can
by
you
the
dial?
way,
Wait,
no,
can
no,
we?
oh no,
Can
I can't die. Hold on.
you? Alright, I'm gonna call Safety one more time.
Yeah. I just made Rose moderator, everyone, so I hope you all like that.
Will she answer if I call her?
She will probably answer. I don't think you
Wait,
should, but I can't control your life.
let me call Safety real quick.
So, it was raining today. It was a really large storm going on. And I was doing laundry, and I had a passing thought in my life. Oh, where's Fools? I don't know. Hmm. Geez, I wonder where he is. I wonder where Pools is. I wonder where he is. Yeah. Well, more
Alright, so no one else is answering. This is now just a strictly test episode.
test of what? What are we testing? AIDS? I'm getting tested. You ever seen
Right.
you ever like seen like those like get tested ads and like you know exactly who like they're marketing it towards? Like
I
isn't
have seen those.
isn't that like homophobic?
In a way. In a
Like
way.
they just know, hey, listen, man, all right, we know you like getting your ass blasted at the bathhouse down the street, okay? Get tested, you fucking creep.
Yeah, I mean,
Ah, fuck,
I don't really
I owe Rose $1. Fuck.
do you?
Yeah, I remember. I remember last night we made a bet.
You gotta work on your gambling problem, dude.
We made a bet that that Pools would not make it, right?
Yeah, Pools is about to get banned, dude. I can't have him bailing
He's
on us so many times in a
he's gonna
row.
get fired out of a cannon.
I've been saying it for a while. We can get some sort of immigrant to replace him real quick, or an old person, or a homeless. There's so many
A
options.
woman.
A woman, somebody who rides a unicycle. It won't take much. Like, it really won't.
A mountain climber who plays an electric guitar.
I actually know a mountain climber that plays the guitar, and he's pretty entertaining too. He
I'm sure.
talks about his grip strength and like yeah, okay. We could get him on. He's also on 4chan way too much, which so is Fools.
He gives hand jobs.
Uh, to himself, but he's like strictly alpha.
What's a hand job? Cause I'm about to get one.
Yeah, I'm a big Sigma myself. I'm not like even big on touching any dicks, like even my own dick.
Yeah, you have like one of those like Alibaba like advanced flashlights. You know,
Nah,
with, like
dude, I don't
pulses,
believe in those.
because that doesn't count as touching yourself.
I'm so the thing is, I was a hedonist for like a decade, straight hedonist. I
Oh,
was
jeez.
purely chasing
What
chasing
a
just pleasure.
what a familiar story.
Yeah,
I'm
dude.
sorry.
And so
I'm tired of these fucking sex havers telling me that I'm impure. Okay, where you were just spending, your formative years just banging anyone, and calling me degenerate, because I
no, if it was your formative years, you're okay. The problem is if like once you pass 30, you're still doing it. So as long as you get it in like really early, then you can't be faulted in any way, shape, or form.
yeah yeah like
Now, if you get to a certain age and you're still partaking in peculiar behavior, I'd say it does start to become an issue. Um, so like my brother, he was driving around in his like Hyundai hatchback with a furry costume in the back, so you could see like the furry fox head, and just the if you were behind them, you just see a big fox, big fox head.
okay, this already sounds terrible, so I can see why you don't talk to your brother anymore.
No, I love my brother. We're cool. I mean, it'd be
I
like
wouldn't love him if I was you.
it was just. I mean, it was like a couple of years
I
he
get
was
like a
running around
shotgun,
with.
just fucking just end his misery like the dog he is.
He really was. He was rolling around with a furry costume in his bag. Um,
What
let me see. Let me see who else. Let me see who I can call for now.
would you
We're gonna
do?
get.
What would you do if you're dating like this hot ass girl, 10 out of 10, supermodel hot, and she likes you, right? But you find out that she's like a dedicated furry. What do you do?
Um, probably have to sit down in a room with just one light bulb in the room, and I'd have a lot of questions in like a notepad. I'd be like,
Yes,
we'd be
interesting.
get
Interesting.
we get to the bottom of it, basically.
And you're like naked the entire time.
No, no, no. Me, if I'm naked, I'm gonna be a distraction.
Jamie pulled that picture of Austin's balls.
Yep, does look about right.
One shouldn't be bigger than the other.
That's how I test people. That's actually the question. Which one is it? Which one is it? Only I know. Um,
We got a comment from Civility. At least he's
should I?
real enough to be his furry self.
I'm gonna get chicken. Should I get chicken on? Chicken on
Yeah,
the show?
yeah, let's get
I'm like,
chicken. I'm sure he's not
I
doing
got chicken.
anything right now.
He's probably not doing anything. It'll be chicken from the IP2, the famous chicken himself.
That's featured on the new Andy Dick show, and
Yep. Let's
and
see what he's doing.
that one naked
And
picture of himself.
that sex tape too.
That sex tape. Yep. Nah, he's streaming.
He was gonna offer you drugs and
Nah, he's in the van right now. He's in the RV right now.
Yeah. So he's not.
He won't.
He's not taking any calls at the moment.
He ain't
The
taking
wireless
any
customer
calls.
is not available.
Yeah, he also lost his phone, I think. Fuck. Yeah,
Let me see.
let's just prank.
Who?
Let's just do some old fashioned prank call. That's what the people want. Everyone's been
Yeah,
telling
shit,
me, "Why is it the prank calls? Why is it the prank calls, nigga?" I ain't trying.
dude. I wish
I'm trying to make something transformative right now.
I have people we could prank call, but I can't prank call them from my phone. So, and you can't dial out,
That's true.
and Rosie's not here.
Yeah, I'm just suppressed right now, man. I've lost everyone I've ever loved.
Me too, honestly.
Yeah. Yo, what if we like call like a what if we just call like a pharmacist and just like barge them for antidepressants?
That's a good idea.
Yeah,
Let me see
it's
what I
all
can
about
find.
persistence, you know. And you get anywhere in life with persistence.
All right, let me see what I can pull up here.
Man, everyone's so fucking bored. Even the chat's like talking to each other. Bros and Dio are having like a full on conversation.
Who's in the chat? Is any of them available?
I don't know if you really want to talk to these people.
The whole point of the show is that we bring in other people. We have rotating guests, and
That's true. I'm
yeah,
saying is I don't think you should bring Dio on the show right now.
yeah. He's the best. Bring Di on.
No, not him right now. He's currently like going through. He's going
No,
through.
bring him on.
Oh, all right.
I don't want to hear an excuse, dude. Bring him on.
My God.
He killed it. The last time he was on the show, he absolutely killed it. How could you say that?
I get that. I'm saying like right now, currently, he's going through a thing.
I don't want to hear it. Bring him on the show. Everyone wants to see him. He's 10 for 10 right now.
All right.
He's striking out.
All right. Fine. All right. Let me
Best,
just.
honestly, best call of the show's history.
All right.
Like,
All right. Fine. Let me ask. Hey, Dio, you want to be on the show?
Chancey trying to censor us, dude. I'm tired
I'm
of
not
this.
trying to censor you. I'm trying to save you. I've been talking to this guy. I've been DMing
No,
him.
as soon as he came on and knocked it out of the park, I was like, I gotta have a conversation with him, and I'll do the interviewing. I'll ask the questions here. You don't even gotta worry about it.
All right. Cool.
I don't know anything about what he's going through. I have no ulterior motive like a lot of these Discord faggots. I'm just here to be. We're just having a good time. We're just trying to hang out, and we want other people to hang out. So if you want to come on the show and just hang out, call into 1-800 BIG-NUTT. That's 1-800 BIG-NUTT.
For context, everyone, we're a little bit drunk. Mostly Austin, but I
I'm,
like calling ourselves a team.
I'm always drunk when I'm on the show. I only come on the show drunk.
All right. I'll send you the number, Dio.
The show's is strictly an obligation that I have. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for the implication.
The implication.
It's the only reason I'm here.
All right. Well, he should be calling any minute now. Any minute now. Any minute now.
What's up, Daya?
How's it going, Austin?
Daya's near, dude. That's the round of applause. Round of applause.
Thank you. You're all so kind.
So, we're really struggling to get through this episode. Can you give us some sort of like explanation to why Chancey thinks it's a problem to have you here?
No, not in general.
You want-
just currently.
Sorry, what was? You want me to give you context on why Chance?
You might as well.
Yeah.
You might as well, Dio. Just
What's this? Why is Chancey tripping? What's up with this?
Give me a second. I have to.
yeah. You better
Sorry,
sit.
the internet was breaking up.
You better sit down for this, Austin. It's gonna take a minute.
All right.
Everyone can't understand a good argument, and then they think it's just some emotional schizophrenic ranting.
I understand that. I really do.
How about you? Had to do.
What? Wait. All right. Now you're cutting out. All right. So what is the argument? Let's get down to the argument.
Hello.
All right, we got it's getting a little choppy here.
Yeah, it's my internet connection isn't the best, but I moved towards the window. What were you saying? Let's get down to the argument.
Yeah. What is the argument? What are they? What? Let me hear. I'm all about arguments, dude. Let's get down to the facts, dude.
Yeah. You ever hear of the double slit experiment?
The quantum. Yeah, it's like so. Yeah, I'm familiar with the double slit experiment. You got the quantum particles going through slits, but they don't land in the same spot every time like they would if they were like a physical atom, like an actual piece of matter. They would land in the same spot every time, but because they're quantum, they're in multiple different places that are unpredictable, that defy like the Newtonian physics. Is that pretty much it?
You know, for a heroin addict, you're pretty damn close, which is actually kind of surprising. So I'm not trying to insult you by saying that, but I never got like an iota of the same intelligence out of Brandon. So for you to like almost get
A lot
most
of
of it,
addicts have
the whole-
high IQs. That's
Yeah, bro.
fact.
Hey, when you talk to an addict, you're talking to a saint that's gonna find God or die trying, bro. I got 2 years sober in February, the last day
Really?
of February. Yeah, leap
you
year
were just
February.
you were just talking about shooting up dope, though. What do you mean 2 years sober? Are you
No,
just like
no.
talking about your past experiences?
Yeah,
when you
all
were
past
talking?
experiences. I got over 2 years, well over 2. I only drink and smoke. I'm California sober.
Austin, God bless you then. I mean, if you're going to smoke tobacco and drink alcohol,
No,
at
no,
least
I
you're,
don't. I mean, I'm smoking a cigar, but I also just quit tobacco this year. I don't do like cigarettes or vaping or anything.
it's good you the shit that's out on the it's getting people pretty quick.
Yeah, no, I mean, I like
Yeah,
see when you're deeply invested into it, you enjoy. Like, I imagine Brandon was seeking out fentanyl when he was relapsing, because that's what I was doing when I was like, you know, the last few years of my addiction. But yeah, it's tough. I mean, opiates are no joke for sure. I don't wanna
Opiates
joke
are
on
not
that.
dope. I kept trying to tell Brandon too. It was like, it's not just the opiates. You need to stop taking any street drugs because they're mixing everything together now, which is just increasing people's chances of having an overdose. And it's sad that he's gone. I really honestly was hoping that he wouldn't go down that route. But all of that aside,
I don't really
it's
want to even like talk about it on the show, but he did like take benzos beforehand. Like, he wasn't really like the reckless type. Like, when he did use, he was always very careful, and he ended up using like internet benzos that got delivered, and just got like completely reckless to the point where he did something that he never would have, which was shoot up behind the CVS and at like 3 in the morning. So yeah, it's crazy, but yeah, he was always like the safe one, believe it or not. Like, it was
Really?
very out of character for him.
I mean, you say that, and we had to sit here on the Discord night after night listening to him overdosing. Like, he would call, and then he would start to nod out, and you just hear him choking.
Well, yeah, so I haven't really been that close to him the past few years. Like, I had to really work on myself. So he probably kept a lot more from me than he kept from you guys, because I think you were probably with him on a more regular basis. But he was mostly just drinking, and I was with him for like a week straight when we did the new Andy Dick show. He was just like just drinking. Like, he would just drink from like morning to night. He would wake up and yeah. Let's like change the subject though. How are you doing, Diogenes? What are you up to?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm sorry to derail the conversation. So the double slit experiment, you were pretty much right on the money. The whole thing about it is the second an observer's conscious is in the room, the light particles are both a charged particle and a waveform. So they both have mass and energy at the same time. And in the absence of any person observing the experiment being conducted in the room, light continues to exude the properties of being a wave, and it lands randomly onto the film to develop. In the presence of an
wait,
observer,
just pause right there. So I pretty much nailed it.
You pretty much nailed it. That's what I'm saying. You pretty much nailed it, which really surprised me. And once there's a human in the room and they're watching the experiment, light breaks down its waveform and ends up as a particle, and then it has a even distribution that breaks down not as when it's randomly done, it still ends up distributing itself in a logistical curve as far as the interference at the center of the pattern is the strongest, and it gets weaker as it goes out as far as the overlapping waves. But when it's a particle, they're merely going straight, and it's more of a linear distribution.
Right.
And so,
and I don't know. I say right because like that's like the limit of my understanding. I don't know anything past that. I don't even want to come off like I have a real. But I get the double slit experiment, and that's about it. But I also get that a lot of like quantum physicists are like absolute kooks. Like they did that whole like documentary. What is it called? What the belief is happening or some shit. You know what I'm talking about? Are you familiar?
I'm listening. I'm not super familiar.
What the
belief is happening? They're trying to like talk about spooky physics, as Einstein coined the term.
No, it's it was just a documentary that went off into like a weird like multi-dimensional view of the world where there's just like infinite amount of universes, which is like there's no real base. It's just like 1000% speculation.
In ancient Greek philosophy, as far as the beginning of physics under Socrates and everyone else in that era, they talked about the ether. And it wasn't until Einstein that the concept of ether had been taken away from the mainstream physics. And ether itself, so if you look at physics now, they're trying to explain how electrons move. And one of the theories they've come up with is the universal electron theory, which is saying that neutral and positive mass is moving through a giant, like everything around us is basically just an electron. Like we're in a sea of electrons, and when we think that they're orbiting around our nuclei that make up the matter of our bodies, they're not really orbiting around us. We're moving through them and permeating through them, which ties into kind of what you're talking about as far as
that's the John Wheeler shit. That's like an older idea though, but I do believe in the ether, and so did Tesla. It's not like honestly, it doesn't line up with what Einstein said specifically because like he was on the whole theory of relativity thing, which needed gravity to be a force, not like. And the fact that gravity needs to be a force is the problem with. And this show has gone completely derailed into pure schizophrenia. Chancey, where are you? Chancey, you said this was a good idea.
But so I was talking to this girl. And she asked me. I was talking to this girl, and she asked me what I thought about the nature of light and matter. And I started to explain the double slit experiment, and then that started an argument where she was trying to tell me that I was wrong. Huh?
You shouldn't do that with a female.
No, she asked me. And I was trying to explain to her my thesis on what I could say about light given the scientific evidence. But so this girl...
Wait, hold on. What could you say about light given the evidence?
That's what I'm trying to explain to you right now. So I explained the double slit experiment, and then I was trying to explain the fact that electromagnetic fields bend light. So if you look at the ionosphere around the planet, because light is a positively charged particle, the ionosphere ends up attracting light towards the planet. They try to explain it as the theory of relativity, the gravitational well, and the distortion of space-time is pulling light in towards the planet. But merely the fact that you can bend light with electromagnetic fields and not just gravity alludes to the fact that it's probably the ionosphere itself that's pulling in light, because it pulls in positively charged actual physical particles, because the sun is like giving off radioactive isotopes and all kinds of different radiations. There are physical particles that are being bombarded towards us, not just the light, but it's all being drawn in by the ionosphere. As far as what I could say about gravity, as we move away from the central point of space and time where the event horizon for the entire universe exists, time is dilating and matter is expanding. And a common accepted theory is the heat death of the universe. And as matter gets further and further away from the central point, the relative energy that can be dispersed amongst all that matter starts to decrease exponentially, and then everything starts to end up in an intratropic state of moving more slowly and slowly, but matter is expanding. So the way I see it, and the way Tesla was trying to teach it, is that as we move away from the center of the Big Bang, the Earth...
No, you've lost me, dude. You've lost me, dude. And it's not... Chancey, what were you just saying about the ionosphere? You were saying something about the ionosphere.
Are you sure?
I was talking about the ionosphere.
Yeah, I think it was.
She was asking me about the character and the nature of light and matter, and I was trying to say that the human spirit, our bodies emit electromagnetic fields, right? You understand that?
Yeah, like a torus effect, where it's like an electromagnetic field that's coming like above and below us.
That's why the double slit experiment breaks down in the presence of a human consciousness, because the human consciousness...
Dude, but the way you speak on this stuff so confidently, like, how are you like a scientist? You know, are you doing the experiments? Because I don't even believe in science, dude. I don't even believe in science at all.
I have a scientific degree, and I spend a lot of my time in like the CIA MK Ultra area of schizophrenia, as far as talking about astral projection and all that
I like
bullshit.
it, dude. And we're gonna have to have some conversations off air, because there's only so much I can say while we're recording. But I have a friend whose brother is deeply in the CIA, and he just got back from the Middle East, and he has 18 months of freedom out here. But he was in a building that got bombed. It was crazy. But he had to go through like 2 weeks of training. He had like no food. They got given like one onion over like 2 weeks to be like a prisoner of war, like training and all kinds of crazy stuff. But he thinks that there's going to be a discovery within the next like 3 to 4, maybe 5 years, like coming up in the next few years, though. It's going to be like an alien discovery, and the way, you know, like Operation or Project Bluebeam, I'm sure you're familiar with.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah, like they're gonna like unleash like aliens on like the planet, but like he's saying that the way that's gonna happen will be an archaeological. It's a tough word.
A lot of the running theories on why the Middle East is constantly in turmoil is to keep us from being able to do the necessary archaeological studies to uncover the true history around what we've had. And so Saddam himself, at the end of his legacy, was building like these museums.
All right. We gotta chill. We're going on to the Anunnaki now. We still got a show going on here. We can't go full schizophrenic rant right now.
I can. It's just that, you know, Dio is like at another level, another plane that I can't really catch up.
I'm on a whole nother level of schizophrenia. I'm like a player character and I can't control
Wait,
myself.
let me ask you
and I
this.
think
Let
I'm
me
out
ask
of
you this.
quest.
No, well, no, I'm not. I get what you're saying. Do you believe that the Anunnaki is real? Yes or no?
As far as I can deduce, the Anunnaki are a genuine fact of our history.
No, so that's where you lose me. So now you're gone. Like the Anunnaki is definitely part of like the whole like fabricated bullshit as far as I'm
You think
concerned.
so?
They're trying to. Yeah. I mean, there's like what that like aliens came here and crossbred monkeys to create people. Then you just have a million.
So if you look at the Bible, God
I do look at
created.
I read the Bible every day, 5 days a week. I wake up and read
No,
it.
but listen, in Genesis, there was a whole human race before Adam and Eve were ever created. And when Adam and Eve got kicked out of the garden, yes,
they weren't human.
They were human enough. They were human enough that Cain could go and populate with them and start a whole sub race. Canaanites. They were human enough, and these are not even the fallen angels, which are the Anunnaki. These are not the fallen angels. These are there are human races before God ever created Adam and Eve. And when Adam and Eve had to leave the garden, their progeny had to go and fight these other humanoids. And these are not even the Anunnaki and their descendants that come even later, you know.
So you're getting mixed up in like a lot of Kabbalah type stuff now, which like I just don't believe because there's not like real sources for it. You know what I mean? Like it's just a lot of that stuff.
How familiar are you with the fact that the Bible that we have now is a censored version by the Romans when they took over Christianity?
The Bible that we have now is what it was. So I mean, it's the King James, right?
It's purely the fact Flavius Augustus came through Constantine, Flavius Augustus Constantine, in the Council of Nicaea. He was the emperor of Rome at the time and realized that Christianity was growing too popular to control. And so he converted to Christianity and forced all the other pagans in the Roman Senate to convert. And they took over Christianity, and then they censored the Bible at the Council of Nicaea. They decided what was going to be canon and what wasn't. And that's why we have things like the Dead Sea Scrolls now, which are the Gnostic Gospels, the uncensored text of everything that was to be included. And there's part of the Talmud and the Kabbalah included in those chapters of what was left out, amongst even to like the Book of Mary and whatnot, Mary the prostitute.
Hey,
wait, what?
Hey! Before we get into anything else, Austin, sorry, Dio. Austin, can you add Rose to the call?
Rosie?
She's very adamant on being on the show right now. I'm not sure why.
Yeah, let's get Rosie in.
I'm not sure why.
Yeah,
but okay.
She's not allowed. She's not allowed.
This show just hit like the high end of the IQ distribution. We're gonna get Rosie on it now. It's gonna be a good conversation.
Oh.
Well, don't start saying. All right. Well, yeah. All right. I'm gonna call Rosie.
I got a comment.
I need Rosie.
And
I need Rosie.
That's the only reason, because I miss her, and that's strictly the only reason.
I got a comment from Judy. This is how like girls can be masters of color theory regarding their makeup, but can't parallel park.
I need Rosie's opinion.
Hey.
Hi, Dio.
Hi, Rosie. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Whoa, what is going on? What is that? Hey, Rosie, can you hear us?
Hi, Austin. Yeah, I can hear you.
How are you? What's up?
I was listening to that whole conversation, and it was sort of giving me a headache a little bit.
Too much to process.
And Chancey was just dead silent the entire time. He wasn't saying anything.
I mean, what the hell you want me to say? What the fuck do you want me to say? You know the last book I read? You want to know the last book I read? All right, last book I read was Captain Underpants last week. Okay, I'm not.
Oh
That's
man.
well,
I'm
that's one
not.
of
I'm.
my favorites. Which one did you read?
I think it was one about. Fuck. Hold on. I was at the library. It took me
Well, I've read
5
them all. It
hours to
doesn't even
read.
matter. Trust me, I've read them all. You could tell me by color. I know which one you're talking about. If you knew the color of the book, I'll tell you. I'll tell you which one. I've read them all a couple of times. In fact, those are the first books that I ever read, the Captain Underbooks. That's how he was introduced to the world.
Yeah, really.
Here we go. Captain Underpants and the tyrannical retaliation
Yep,
of the
yep,
Turbo
yep.
Toilet 2000.
Yeah, dude, that was a crazy one. Yeah, the robot toilet.
Yeah, that one.
The girl really comes through. That blonde, curly-haired girl really comes through in those. But anyway,
Yeah,
we're talking about
like you were saying, Dio.
we're ta-
Continue on.
Well, I don't, Rosie. What do you have to say? What's your input?
Oh, I don't have any. I just wanted to listen.
You wanted to listen?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It was a dumb conversation, and then she couldn't really come to terms with grasping the double slit experiment, and kept telling me I was wrong about it. And then I
Wait,
got a
who's
little
she?
mad. I was dating a girl for a couple weeks.
Remember when I told you about racist Rosie?
Racist Rosie.
Yeah, remember when I was
Oh,
telling you
yeah,
about that?
yeah.
Yeah, this is what I'm talking about.
I
Oh,
was dating racist Rosie for a couple weeks, but she has this like penchant of cutting me off and just telling me I'm wrong without telling me how I'm wrong, and not letting me like learn or talk with her. And I don't know. You is it rude, Rosie, when people talk over you in a conversation, especially when they ask you a question and they don't give you enough time to answer it?
Wait. Can I just ask you something? Okay, so you were talking about the creators of the Bible, and like I'm just trying to figure out where you were going with that. So like, as far as I know, the creator, like the final editor of the Bible was Francis Bacon. Like he was like the creator of the Rosicrucian, and you know what I mean. What was the overall point that you were going for there?
When
I
you're
want to get to the
talking about Francis Bacon and New King James, those are people retranslating the Bible. The Bible was first written in Arabic, and then it was written in Greek. It was written in Aramaic, and then it was written in Greek, and then they translated it into Italian. But the whole thing between translating it from Aramaic to Greek is the words don't always encapsulate the same meanings. So there's like slight variations in how it's written.
And the New Testament was the New Testament was Aramaic, but yeah, I know what you mean though.
Yeah,
I
Hebrew,
get it.
well, I mean, they rewrote the Old Testament in Aramaic because Aramaic was close enough to Hebrew. But the whole thing about it is that the canonized Bible we have now, there may be a bunch of different translations where people have gone back to either the Aramaic or the Greek and tried to retranslate it into English and subvert going around two different translations of Greek and Italian to English, and then confuse more of the language. But the original Bible, the Gnostic Gospels, the Dead Sea Scrolls, are the complete total sum of all the books that were supposed to be included in the Bible before the Romans at the Council of Nicaea canonized it. You have to look up the Council of Nicaea.
I know about the Council of Nicaea. I'm very familiar with like the canonization of things, but the why are the Gnostics like part of that?
Because the Gnostic Gospels included the other parts of the books that you were talking about that had the Talmud, that were talking more about the Anunnaki. And as far as Jewish esoterians are concerned, Astrotarianism, which is
you just gotta, dude. All right, we gotta stop this here. But you gotta be very careful just about speaking on this stuff so confidently. I've heard you make a couple of mistakes that I don't even want to criticize because I don't know it well enough. But to speak on any of this stuff so confidently is like
Tell me
just
what
an issue.
mistake I made. Tell me what mistake I made.
The Why are you so confident? Why do you know this so well? You know, I mean, like, what's going on here?
What's your problem? What's your problem, Austin?
This is the exact same thing I had to deal with racist Rosie. Just tell me how I'm wrong if you think I'm wrong. I want to know so I can at least try to talk with you about it.
Dude, I cannot.
Austin,
Dude,
come
I
on,
will
tell him.
I'm ready to have this conversation on a private level, but I'm not ready to do it while we're live on YouTube right now.
Why not, man? I'm not going to get mad at you or anything. I want to have a discussion.
Yeah, listen, I don't think it's that dangerous to talk about this.
Yeah, it's not dangerous to talk about, man. You can talk about whatever you want.
It's not It's really not dangerous. I also all right. I don't even know where to start. All right, let's.
Well, let's lay it out there. Let's lay it out and do it step by step.
Okay, give me a minute. Where were you just at? Let me allow you to finish your point real quick. I'm sorry to interrupt. What were you just saying?
You familiar with the fact that almost every world religion has a flood story?
Yeah.
You familiar with the fact that every world religion has a flood story which 2 people survive or a small group of people survive who go on to repopulate the whole planet? So
yeah,
Astro,
dude, the pre-Diluvian era, dude, or the post-Diluvian.
Yeah,
Zoroastrianism. Yeah, I know about Zoroaster.
Zoroaster is what is theorized to be the fundamental basis for Judaism as far as teaching.
Whoa! I mean, that's not accepted. It's the first post-Diluvian religion. It's not accepted to be the basis for Judaism at all. Not even close.
A lot of people in the running theory accept that Zoroastrianism and the fact that it teaches one God. I know that might not be you. But if I go talk to a bunch of other rabbinical Jews, they're going to tell me about the time they were put into exile into Persia and they took on beliefs that were in the Persian canonization, which was Zoroastrianism at the time.
I think Zoroastrianism was just like old Canaanite shit. So like, how would you compel me to believe that
Zoroastrianism is like it's never was a written religion, and basically Jews took a lot of what was in it in the oral traditions and wrote it down into the Old Testament.
I don't think so. I don't think there's that many parallels between Zoroastrianism and because if you think about it,
you can look it up on the internet, and there's a lot of people.
I know what the parallels are. The parallels are that there was a 3-day resurrection, right? There was it was the first monotheistic religion, and it was just like one of the oldest beliefs, but there was no way connected to the Abrahamic religion, and it was also like it had no real historical backing, so it was all just like
it really doesn't have any following still. It's a dying religion, and their religion.
There's still a few people that believe it. There's like a couple.
There's a few people, but the only people who can be accepted into the religion have to be born into it, and that's why it's like basically almost died out at this point.
Well, it's also just a cult. It's the whole thing's just been a cult.
It's been a cult. But I mean, I'm just sitting here running through what the kind of mainstream theories are. I mean, if you want to say the Anunnaki and stuff like that are just like some smokescreen for the CIA to pollute us.
The Anunnaki are a way to. It's literally. It's what in 10 years from now the Anunnaki will be taught as like it's what the kids in elementary school will be taught. It's in like 10, 15, 20 years. It'll be the way they connect history with all of the like Abrahamic religions, because there's no other way to do it. So if they want to create a one world government and a one world belief system, they have to have like a way that they can create. Like, it's not just astrology, because they have to, Planet X comes here every 2,000 years or whatever. And so when it's close enough, the Anunnaki hopped over here one time so that they could create the monkey. They could take the monkeys of this planet, mix them with their genetics, and make them people, so that they could harvest gold, and then they could use gold to lace their atmosphere on planet X. And that lines up beautifully with the whole like, hey, like we're running on fossil fuels, and this whole like atmosphere is deteriorating. You know what I mean? Like it's all bullshit, and the Anunnaki's bullshit. And if you're basing your system off that, you're definitely flawed. I think you're better off using the Bible to use your foundation instead of.
Listen, every time that I'm gonna actually like preach anything to anyone, I'm just gonna go to the Bible. But if I'm sitting here and running through all of the other outlying information as far as what the Masons Lodge has been propagating for centuries, and the Masons Lodge existed long before the CIA ever did, there's a lot of correlations between what the Masons Guild has been trying to enlighten people on and everything else that I've been saying. But we don't have to get off onto the schizophrenic theories that the gold mines that are left in South Africa, these giant pits in the ground, were left over by aliens that engineered monkeys or anything. I mean, as far as the Bible says, there are fallen angels that come to Earth and mingle with humans.
There are,
so
for sure.
There
were before the flood and
the Anunnaki.
And after.
It sounds a lot like the Anunnaki, these demons that are coming from above the planet and mingling with humans.
Yeah, but the thing is, all right, so, and we're gonna end this here, and this might be the best episode of Class of 20XX ever.
What are you talking about? We got so much going on.
Yeah, we can keep going.
We're popping right now. I got a comment from Skate Red. It says that
but the Masons are literally a.
Dio's doing the
Wait,
Mop
go
Gang.
ahead.
Dio's doing the Mop Gang podcast circuit to air his grievances because a stranger on the internet blocked him.
Yeah, a stranger on the internet blocked me.
Who blocked you? I'm not okay with it.
Racist Rosie blocked me because I got angry at being shut. See, this is what I would say.
Wait. We have Rosie here. Rosie.
No, racist Rosie, not Rosie.
Racist Rosie.
Racist Rosie.
Yeah. This one's not. Yeah, Rosie's not racist, right, Rosie?
I was talking to racist.
She's a little bit. She's a little bit.
I was talking to racist Rosie, much more or less the same way I'm talking to you, Austin. But you know, you took the time, Austin, to address me as far as telling me how you felt about what I was saying, instead of just going, no, you're wrong, moving on. No, you're wrong, moving on. I want to hear why you think I'm wrong, so that we can both come to a better understanding and be able to have a more constructive dialogue. But
I love it, dude. I love it. I love you thinking about it, dude. I like it. I think that, you know, it's good to be very open to these things, but at the same time, being too open will lead you off a cliff into the abyss. So like I've been.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
I've been into the abyss. You know what I mean?
You've been into the abyss. So the whole point is, like, I was talking to racist Rosie over a matter of weeks, and she kept like just cutting me off. She would ask me a question, I'd start trying to talk about something, and then she'd just be like, no, you're wrong, moving on. And I'm like, well, can you tell me why I'm wrong? And she would refuse to want to talk to me about it. And then when it came down to the double slit experiment, I was not wrong. She was wrong, but she didn't want to admit it. And I got angry because she kept asking me, she kept telling me I was wrong. I kept asking her to tell me why I was wrong. And I kept explaining the same things over and over again. And the fifth time I had to explain it, I started raising my voice because she kept talking over me and it was making me mad. And then I told her, I was like, so the one thing she kept repeating to me throughout the weeks is, my eggs are drying up and I don't have time to listen to falsehoods. I don't have time to listen to bad information because my falsehoods My eggs are drying up. My eggs are drying up, and I don't have time to listen to you. And so I would shut my mouth, and then she would. Then she would fucking ramble on for another 2 hours about like some pedantic shit about work or something like that. Like, So she has all the time in the world just to keep talking to me, and if I him and ha just go oh yeah
Interesting. The
everything's
rose
okay, yeah,
technique.
interesting. Yeah, I just have to go, everything's interesting, and the second I can't have like a dissenting opinion, and it's frustrating because she'll like ask me questions. I try to answer the question, and then she's like, no, you're wrong. I'm like, well, why are you even asking? And then so the last conversation, I was like, you keep going on telling me I'm wrong, and I'm wasting your time. I don't want to waste your time anymore. My time's precious too. I could have been spending these last few weeks doing other things, and your eggs are drying up. She's like, you really feel that way?
Let me just tell you, your first problem here is having these kind of conversations with a female.
Having
Dr.
schizophrenic
Austin,
conversations
go
with a
fix
woman.
you.
She's the one who came to me and started wanting to go through the Bible. You don't understand, man. Every day it was like she wanted to be going through scripture and stuff. So I like,
Just
she
be
wanted
careful.
to
Look,
be having
just be very
schizophrenic
careful. If she's
conversations.
coming to you for that, just make sure you're only teaching shit that you actually know, and don't let
I
it get.
all the other shit too. It's not like I believe it or not, or it's actual facts, but I know what other people are.
This is the facts though. Like, you know what I mean? If you give anybody LSD for the first time and they trust you, they'll believe whatever you tell, and that's the basis. That's the basis of MK Ultra. That's what fucking. Dude, I mean.
Dr. Austin
I don't
solves
even-
your problems.
yeah, I'm not gonna solve anything. I'll make it worse for you. I'll make it worse for sure. But
I mean, I could have just shut my mouth. I mean, there was a lot of things going on. Somebody hacked. I'm pretty sure Elisa
this
Jordana.
part. All right,
I'm sure
go on.
Elisa Jordana stole my credit card information because I had to call the Revolee company and find out that it was my payments were going to fucking OnlyFans. Somebody stole my credit.
Stole your credit card information?
No, Elisa Jordana from the IP2 network, who's trying to like fucking throw a stumbling block in on my relationship.
Now we have
want competition.
Oh.
war. We just started a war now. It's a war with IP2.
Not really.
It's a war.
Not really.
Shut-
It's already too late. Elisa left out of her fucking Discord and she's gone like undercover. She went away. I caught her in that trap.
Hey,
I mean,
hey,
I don't
Dio,
have like
Dio,
definitive proof.
What if I told you right now that Elisa Jordan's right next to me, right now? You can talk to
Elisa
her.
Jordana.
She's here
Is
right
she the
now.
tall one?
She's right.
Is she the tall one?
Yeah,
I'm
she's the
pretty
tall
sure
one,
she gave
yeah.
me a piggyback ride. I know her. She's cool. What's the beef, dude? We'll start
donated. She was doing an interview with some real estate agent before she left out of LA. She was like going there for job prospects.
I was on her
dude-
shoulders. My nuts were on her neck, dude.
And
If
he
we
has,
have
he
to
I
has
start a
don't
a
war.
ball.
Are you kidding me? Elisa is not that strong of a woman. She really picked you up like
Yeah,
that?
what? Well, Austin's not that like big of a person. He's like,
I'm a meek man.
Elisa Jordana, before she left out of LA, was doing an interview with a Muslim. He's not Muslim, but he's like fucking Iranian or something. Some Persian
Right.
dude. And I donated. It was like, don't trust this Jewish wench. We shall convert her yet and overcome the great Satan. Inshallah, this whore will come to know God soon enough. Like some bullshit like that. And she she was like, no, bad donation. And she's like turning it down. And then I found out Gucci's was doing a live stream and calling out some dude, David, saying she had his power chat information. And then I talked to Gringle and Skate Rad's chat the other day, and Gringle was saying that Lols runs the Power Chat network, and that I can't remember his
Dude,
name.
you guys are so fucking. You're so online, bro. What the fuck is going on? You need to unplug a little bit.
That's
dude.
what I told. That's what I told them.
Just take a step back, dude. Put them down. Put the screens down for like 2 days. 2 days. Just please, dude. Please put them down for 2 days. And I
went and did work today. I don't know what you're talking about. I live on an island, and it's a retirement community. So
Your dog.
well, you're bored, dude. I get
I got
it.
my
You want
dogs.
to
I
make
take my dogs for a walk. I spend
let's
some
make
time
some-
on YouTube in the evening. Cut me a break.
Let's make-
I watch the news in the morning.
let's make some music or something, dude. Anything else? I'll talk to you off air, bro. I love it. I love it. I love everything you're saying, but just like the energy is a little bit manic, and that's destructive. So just big setback,
Look,
a little one,
let
not
me-
even
let
big,
me-
not even big. You're good. You are very clear and go ahead, Chancey. Not a
That-
big one. Small, little step back.
That like if it's any consolation, I do know what she looks like now, and frankly, I'm not impressed.
Yeah.
I don't know if you ever seen what she looks like.
Yeah.
Oh, you did?
I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, this.
Wait, you know what this girl looks like?
Yeah, I know what she looks like. Yeah, we were video chatting with like me and Sifu and Simon like a
Who's
couple days
talking?
ago. Me, Chansey.
No, oh, okay.
Anyways, like I was saying, yeah, she's
It's nice to have you back, Rosie.
she's
It's good. It's good
yeah,
to see.
she's just like she looks like she's like a chubby Happa.
I don't know what we're talking about. I feel left out.
Yeah.
Who's this?
The
Who are you
racist.
talking about? That looks like
I'm talking about racist Rosie.
she looks like a hippo.
Happa.
Half like half white, half Asian.
Yeah. And
That's
she's like-
that's
she's
who
like-
I
she's
lost
like-
my virginity to one of those.
That's great.
You maybe one of those. Yeah.
Yeah, and like,
She
and
sounds
like,
hot.
I don't know. I feel weird about people that like become like trad, but like they had like a very, I don't know, quote unquote checkerboard past. I have a real problem with people like that.
I will say that there's a general consensus on the internet that she has a checkered past, and there's a lot of questions around, is it blown out or not?
I don't know. I never really looked into it. I just know from you. You said
I never really looked into it too much either, but Sifu was asking me if I thought it was blown out, and then people in the Grow server the other day were joking about it being blown out. And God,
It's not
even
that.
sent
It's
me-
not. It was not that crazy for someone to go from like a degenerate past to like a somewhat trad. I don't know who we're talking about at all.
I'm willing to accept anyone's past if they're willing to leave the past in the past and not continue to be a whore.
I'm willing.
far as it
I'm
is.
willing to let it go if they're just not like annoying.
Who
Like,
is
for
this
not-
person?
they're
And why the fuck?
I-
Why the fuck are they getting this much like time to be like? I don't even get what we're talking about at all. I'm ready to move it on. Let's keep
Ready
it
to
going.
move
Yeah, let's move on. I think case closed.
Yeah. What's up with what other comments do we have here?
I call him
Fancy, what
dangerous.
else
We got one from Skate Rad. I call him Dangerous Dio.
Dangerous Dio. Danger zone.
Dangerous Dio goes into the haunted mansion.
Living in
That's good.
hey, I'm like Luigi, man. I gotta hunt down those ghosts. You gotta clean up the mansion, man.
Yeah, can someone explain
Chancey,
to me
Chancey
the
tried to tell.
what?
You tried to tell me about. You said the Luigi board was your idea, but I was listening to old Matt and Jane, and I heard the Luigi
All
board
right,
come
look,
up.
listen.
Luigi
I don't
board.
listen. I don't listen to Matt and Shane's Secret Podcast. Okay.
It was an old one too. It was like 2019. That you can say that's parallel thinking.
Yeah, it's parallel. I have a new idea now. I got a new idea.
Alright, what is it?
Okay, so it's like a service, right?
I believe it.
It's like a service for like people who like want to like say something really racist online to another person, but doesn't want to get canceled. So they would hire like this company to like do it for you.
That's a great service. That's
So we get a bunch of
legitimate.
like black people to call other people to call them niggers.
Yeah, basically like that. Like they will have their full names, so it wouldn't be like anonymous. These people have real names, real presence online, and then like you'd hire that person to say something horrible to like another person that you don't like.
So
That's
Yeah,
a good service. I could actually see that being really good for today's world. There's a lot of people in Hollywood who don't want to like air their racist feelings outright, you know.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know. I couldn't think of a funny name of it, so that's why I'm explaining it.
I like it. What's that service that like celebrities use to make like little vines to people?
Little what?
Patreon?
Like No, not Patreon. It's like a you can get like celebrities to do like 10, 20
Oh,
second clips.
cameo.
It's like a racist cameo basically.
Ratio, racisto,
Racist
I like
cameo.
it.
ratio.
Yeah, so we're gonna hire a bunch of like Nigerian guys to just like call people like trannies and stuff on Twitter.com and anywhere really. For
Yeah.
about like $15 per tweet.
$15 per tweet, dude. The fucking Nigerians would do it for like 15 cents.
I know, but
I'm also
but
selling. I'm
listen,
selling
I'm
reviews.
as
Hold
a
on,
tech bro,
Chancey, real quick.
okay.
No, go ahead. Go ahead. As a tech bro, I got it.
As a tech bro, you know, I like paying my people a reasonable reasonable salary.
How
That's
much are you going
fair.
to charge the customer if you're going to pay them $15?
Well, you can give a Filipino you give a Filipino to work at like they're going to be working on opposite time zones, so it'll be like working at like midnight for them. But you can give them $5 to close $1,000 deal, and that's fair business.
Exactly.
I don't think anyone's going to pay for a racist cameo for $1,000.
I think I
Well,
don't
I'm saying,
know.
all right.
I
So
don't know about that. It's
if you pay
anonymous.
well
It's
for a
anonymous.
racist cameo, you do like all right. If you do, so I'm just saying that's the parallel. So if you gave them, if they did a racist cameo for $50, they'd make 25 cents. You know what I mean? It doesn't have to be that much money. It's just
Yeah, I
prorated.
think $15 is too much. Yeah, you like charge
50
if you charge the customer like just a couple dollars, you get a lot of business. And if you're paying Nigerians, man, they'll
Well,
work
no.
for
Well,
cents on the day.
this isn't aimed at normal people. This is aimed at like celebrities. This is aimed at like public, like politicians and public figures. We're not gonna advertise to the common man. Who cares?
That's right.
Yeah, we're advertising this to like people who actually will get in trouble for things they say online.
I'm also
Not
I'm
for people who
also
think they
selling
will.
I'm selling
Not
Google
people-
reviews. So if anybody needs Google reviews, negative or positive, they
He can
are.
And he's trying to like take down an Indian cell phone shop in BC, Columbia.
know.
Still,
I remember that. I remember that.
In fact, if he wants, dude, if he gives me, I will get him. I'll get that cell phone saying negative reviews every single month, and we can do a subscription-based payment where I'll just charge him monthly, and we'll just keep him coming. We'll
yeah,
keep
that's what
him
you
coming,
should
and we'll,
do. Like
we'll make 'em
$1,000
organic.
a month. $1,000 a month and get like 100 texts.
For $1,000 a month, I mean, so they're basically $20 a review. So I mean, if you
$20
break it down.
So
Yeah, you
500.
get like 500, reviews, and you get that's 500 negative reviews. He basically put them out of business. I'm sure they don't even have 500 reviews.
Hell yeah, this could work.
I like.
Where the
racist
fuck?
cam-
Wait, where the fuck is Pulse, dude? This is unacceptable. That Pulse has been missing this many
So
episodes.
I have
Not
a,
even.
I have a couple
Track
theories.
from
I have a
Canada
couple-
right
I have-
now.
I have
He's
a
back
couple-
on his serial murder racket.
Yeah, that's my theory too. I think he's back to like killing hitchhikers on the road. So he doesn't have time
Yeah, he
for
just posted-
podcasting.
Pools posted some videos of him stalking Chinese people at a truck stop the other day, like he was
That is
selecting
true.
targets.
That is true.
I think Pools is back to traveling Canada and hiding bodies right now. He doesn't have time to call in. It's nighttime right now, so he has to be disposing of the corpse.
Yeah, and he's still at large. So if any like Canadian MPs would like to, contact me or Austin, please, our lines are always open. And we will snitch on him because he did not come on our episode. I'll tell you, man, he's on thin ice with me.
Then
Sorry,
how many times?
Yeah, they think he's
I'm here
Canadian.
too. Yeah.
Get it?
How many times has
That's
show?
the last like 12 times. I'm pretty sure.
Really?
This is episode 7, right?
I don't know. I spilled my ginger. It's a water. I'm drinking bubbly water seltzer.
Oh, me too. I love
Oh, no.
seltzer.
Yeah, lime. It's a lime filter. I just spilt it all over my my technical equipment.
That's not good.
Yeah, he has
Yeah.
he has like a microphone that Pink Floyd himself used.
Yeah.
That is true. That is true. But we're not using it for the show yet. I'm been too lazy to set it up.
You gotta get my simple setup. I just have a mixer and a
Wait, did
microphone.
you get like a new phone or something? A new mic or something?
Does it sound better?
Yeah, I can actually hear you.
So it's not a new. This is just the microphone that I use for work. It's like it's a better headset, but I have like a really nice microphone that I'm gonna use at some point. Who's breathing into the microphone right now? Who is this? Who is it? It's Daya. I already can tell by the breath.
No, it's not me.
It's Chancey.
Guys, I have a confession to make. Pool's been here the entire time. He's actually on the
Who's
line
Pools
right
here?
now. Hey guys, it's me.
Fuck you, Pools, dude. I'm tired of your shit.
Yo, fuck you, man. This show's fucking gay.
Everything's gay. I'm Pools. Everything sucks.
It's a pretty good Pools impression.
Oh, thanks.
Right.
Yeah, cool.
Listen, it's a bad sign when someone's a fan of XM64.
You don't stand up XM64.
No, I am him, but I'm just saying fans of it are terrible people usually.
Maybe if everyone gives a compliment to Pool, he'll come back next time.
All right, fine. I'll give him a compliment. Fools, I love your olive skin and Aryan
Pools, you're
features.
funny. You're
I think-
funnier than any of us on the show. You are funnier than me and Chancey by a good bit.
Yeah, really? You guys think Pools is like your fucking anchor
He's
for
like,
this whole
he's
stuff
like,
there?
he's like the old dirty bastard of the show.
Yeah, the old dirty bastard. Pools is a pretty handsome dude. You know, I think he's got a lot for him going in life. I wish that he would like be a little more stable, but
I wish it was straight.
I think he likes the off road. You wish he was straight.
Yeah.
Like a backhand
I'm-
compliment. You need to give like an actual compliment.
I just did.
I wait real quick though. I am tired of all the gayness. He needs to get straight really quick.
Yeah, like I remember like I was taking a shower and he just like walked in on me into the shower and he would just be like normal and shit. It's like, hey, what's up? I'm like, dude,
Yeah, dude.
get out.
You better get ready for some conversion.
What's the most gayest thing you've ever done, Austin? You're from California.
I was molested. I was molested in South Carolina by my cousin, so that's probably the gayest.
Oh wait, fuck. No, my bad. That wasn't what I was supposed to. Right. There you go. Okay. I pressed it. I swear to God, Austin, I pressed the wrong button.
What about you?
Can you
What's it- what
elaborate
about-
on that story for us, Austin? Can you or is it too personal here?
Unfortunately, I can't, dude. Just because like I don't know where my cousin's at. He disappeared after that happened. I've never seen him since. Dude, I don't
What
really
if
wanna...
I told you he's like right? He's writing this line right now. Here's your cousin.
I'd ask him.
Hello.
Yeah, no, dude. I can't elaborate. Unfortunately, his sister, she was like, what are those girls called that have like the tattoos, but they're also porn stars? You know what I'm talking about? Like the
Whores.
something angels.
Whores.
So, yeah,
Like a
she was
teen
one.
girl?
She was one of those.
Babylon slut.
Yeah, dude. She was.
You think she was molested by him, and that's why she turned out that way?
She was a witch, dude. And also, well, no. So she wasn't molested by him because she was older, so that's not possible. But what did happen was, so their father was my uncle, and their father was my grandfather, and he actually had sex with their mother. So their grandfather had sex with, wait, hold on. me get this right. Yeah, they were my uncle, but grandfather had sex with their mother, and then she hung herself. So that was kind of confusing. I wish I articulated that better. Was that followed properly? Did you guys copy that?
Yeah. Suicide Girl.
No.
Is this your family out of California?
No, my family's not out of California. I was in California for just a couple of years because my mom's boyfriend got a job out there at the time. This was my family in like South Carolina. That's so my grandpa.
That's fucking backwoods shit for sure. That's why I was like,
technically, my grandfather was from Chicago. He lived in Chicago, and my grandmother had a barber shop in the city, and their apartment was above it. But he was a direct descendant of Jesse Jameson, the bank robber. He was just like a couple generations below him, and he was a complete maniac. And he was like in the war and came back, and he would just pull his gun on fucking anybody. And he did it one too many times where he actually shot somebody in Chicago. So my grandma boarded up her business and came to the middle of nowhere, like central South Carolina, and they like ran from the law and just set up shop here. And like my dad was 3 years old when they moved to the Carolinas.
Wow, that's crazy, man. That's a pretty interesting family story, to be honest, Austin.
It's pretty wild. My very first memory was my grandfather, but like he already like cheated on my grandma at that point. But like my grandma still took care of him. She was just a saint. She was like the most holy woman you can imagine. So she had like a back room where she just let him live basically and just gave him everything she needed. Because she was like, when she divorced him, she was like, she saw like a vision of her mother in the sky. Like she was so like like she was messed up. Like it was such a big deal for her to like divorce this guy who cheated on her with like her technically her daughter-in-law. So like it was it was crazy. It was unheard of at the time to just do a divorce in general in that part of the country. But
Did you ever ask her what she saw in him when they first got married?
I'm sure. I mean, I'm sure he was a different person before the war. You know what I mean? Like he came back from the war like something else.
Yeah.
But I think that like when you become like a killing machine, you get inhabited with a couple of demons that not everybody can shake, unfortunately.
It's a lot easier to end arguments or disagreements with a sword than it is with words, for sure.
Yeah, but you live by the sword, you die by the sword, dude. That's what Jesus
live by
said.
the sword, you die by the sword. Yeah, he had to run away not to die by it, right?
I don't know if he ran away.
He died of his old age in the end, or?
Oh, you're talking about what's his name? Okay, I see what you're saying.
Did your grandfather die of his old age in the end, or did he come to like a short? It sounded like he died of old age. He was sitting in the back room.
Yeah, he did eventually just get. It was just old age. Yeah, he ended up. But he like another crazy part was that he at one point before she took him back in when they were like first separating, he threatened to come back to her house and like burn it down. And my dad was like a young man, like 20 something, young 20s, like maybe 21 or something like that. And he truly believed that his dad was going to come back and burn his mom's house down. He's like, he kept saying it over and over. He's like, I'm coming back, I'm burning, you know what I mean? So like, he was on the lookout. He's been staying there for days. He hasn't left. He's waiting for his father to come back to burn his mother's house down. And so he has a shotgun. He's ready. And his dad comes back, and he's prepared himself to shoot his dad because he's coming back to burn his house. You know what I mean? Like that's what he had to. It's just such a crazy thing to think about. Like that he really like not only prepared himself, was like ready to fucking do it. Like got past prepare. He was like, I am going to kill my father, like, because he's trying to get. Yeah, it's crazy. It's very very interesting story. And then my dad ended up being like one of the coolest guys in the world, like completely broke the cycle, because up until like that, like it was yeah, like just shittiness. But my dad was just like the coolest guy. You know what I mean? Like it's interesting.
Trying to get away from those family demons. I mean, is your grandmother still alive, or is she gone now too at this point?
She passed away just like it's like 3.5, 4 years ago. And
we're getting older, and I'm sure your father is like getting on in the years too. I would consider doing what you could to like interview anyone who's left, because to be honest with you, man, by the time you get into the age where you're your dad's age, if you wrote this down into a book, that shit could probably sell. It's a story. You got a story right there, to be frank.
Yeah, but no one's even gonna read books. I don't anticipate
Frank?
like people getting.
To be honest,
who is Frank?
To be honest, if you write it down in a book or just make an audio book, go get your father and like do a series of interviews and make a little documentary. I think a lot of people would be interested in that story. I'm already interested in knowing more. I mean, I want to ask you questions, but it's like, I know it's one of those things. There's probably a lot you wouldn't want to say out in the public right now, just because there's people.
I'll say anything. I'll say anything whatsoever. I don't care. But this is getting gay, dude. We're trying to have fun. This is like, you're basically just.
This is fun. This is interesting. I'm learning about. You're a very interesting character, Austin. I honestly, I hear what you said at the beginning of the conversation when I was a little bit surprised how far you understood the double slit experiment. And I don't want to discount anyone's intelligence or their capacity for it, but I never got like half of an interesting conversation as this out of Brandon as I'm getting out of you.
Well, Brandon was a genius. And he might not have wanted to talk about things at like an intellectual level, but it didn't mean that he didn't understand it. He just knew that it was all most of it was just Jewish nonsense. And
He said,
he didn't want to talk about
today.
He didn't want to talk about any isms, dude. There's enough isms out there, dude. You know what I mean? We don't need any more isms. Yeah. Just all jism, schism, schism,
jism all over
Jewish
to
the place.
I'm tired of it.
Jewish,
I think
Jewish
he was
sticking together the history pages so we can't fully read the actual history.
Did you guys see? My iPhone told me that there was like a new discovery that was like a 1,500-year-old discovery of a Bible translation where it was like written on parchment paper, and there was like multiple translations that were written and then erased and then written over, and they only discovered it because of like UV light. And I just noticed that like today.
No, I didn't read that. I didn't read that article. All the news I get recommended are about like Half-Life 1 mods.
Half-Life 1 mods.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Bible has been rewritten and censored at various points in time and retranslated.
We should make our own version of it. Why not? Who's gonna stop us?
If I was gonna make my own version of the Bible, I'd try to get like the full Dead Sea Scrolls.
I had more.
Yeah.
I had more fight scenes.
You'd have more fight scenes.
Yeah,
Jesus.
I just read the book.
Should have been like a fight, like a whole big ass like
I
brawl.
just read the Book of Kings, and the Book of Kings 1 and 2 is literally, and then you have like Chronicles 1, 2, and Ezra. Like I just read 1, 2, and Ezra, and it's literally like nothing but like it just tells the whole story of like Israel and Judah. It's like it starts out like some super crazy Jewish like King Zedekiah. And then it prefaces each story like did what was good in front of the Lord, or it says did what was evil in front of the Lord, and then goes on to tell, and it goes on to say like he reigned for 30 years, and this is how that society collapsed, or this is how he did good and built it up, and It's literally just I mean, it's just crazy the similarities. Like some of these are like 2,000 years, 1,500 years ago. And it's just interesting to see the same like build ups and collapse. Rosie's trying to get your attention.
What's up, Rosie?
What religion are you?
I'm Christian.
Okay.
Let's go.
I'm non-denominational. If I were to like pick a denomination.
That's cool.
Yeah, I'm with that. What do you wait? So like, what do you think about the end times? Do you think they're coming?
And times.
I tried to ask a lot of different pastors this, and so if you look at the Bible right after Jesus' time, there's a period in which Jesus had come back to the people. And if you look at the book of Revelations, there's a lot of people who believe that we're living in the end times right now, as far as the book of Revelations say that the kingdom of God will rule on the earth for a couple thousand years.
Yeah.
Like we're living in the kingdom of God right now. Jesus has already come back, and the rapture happened to the beginning way back in the day.
Yeah, that's where you lose me. I don't know about that.
No, I get what he means. I get what he means. Like he has risen. Like he's already here. In fact,
You
have to.
I have a lot to say.
He's actually right here on the show.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. You have to add.
Me.
What do you mean? What?
I'm the second coming. I've risen. I'm King of the Jews.
So in the book of Acts, it talks about a period of time where all the Christians had gathered up and they were able to speak every language, even though they were speaking in their own native tongue. So they had all been given the gift of tongues, and it talks in the book of Acts about how the sound was so confounding to all the unbelievers. And in the book of Acts 2, it talks about Christians, being taken up by God. And these are the early Christians right after Jesus was crucified, before Paul had converted to Christianity, who are like going through these tribulations, being thrown into the pits of lions and being crucified on the cross, much more the same way that Christ was. And there's a lot of people.
I think the book of Acts was after Paul, technically, but it was and also after Daniel and the lions too. That was like Daniel was like 500 years before that. But yeah, the Acts was like the Church of Pentecost. Yeah, the tongues where everyone could like understand the same thing.
And that's supposed to be the time in Revelations when Jesus is coming back and rapturing people. And then I've asked so many different pastors, and everyone there's so many different theories and philosophies. I'm not trying to get into isms, but as far as you're asking me what I think about it, as far as I could see it, I could understand that we're living in the kingdom of God right now. Because, in the book of Revelations, it talks about the third temple being built, and we're sitting here today.
You know what's crazy, though? It also, the Revelations talks about, like, the Euphrates River drying up, and it's in the past, like, 2 years.
It dried up.
Like it's like basically dried up right now. But it also, there's a few things that are supposed to happen, and it's not completely dried up yet. And there's a few things that are supposed to happen before it is. But that is very crazy that this book of Revelations, written 1,500 years ago, talks about this river drying up. One of the biggest rivers in the planet drying up, and it's actually happening right now. Pretty wild.
Yeah, in Quran too, it talks about how they'll find the mountain of gold when the river dries up, and that gold.
They found the gold, dude. They definitely. Yeah, but the thing there was like a fake finding of
Anunnaki.
It wasn't Anunnaki. It was damn, dude.
I've been seeing these reports that they're finding caves
They
at the
have
bottom
found caves.
these
They have found
rivers
caves.
going down to Nephilim is what they're trying to say, that there's howling coming from these caves.
Yeah, there's like YouTube shorts like where there's like crazy noises coming from the caves where it's like you do hear like what sounds like demonic noises, and like the YouTube like the channels are just like some crazy Middle Eastern characters that don't look like they could
Be making
fake
shit up
something.
like they have
Yeah.
the technical aptitude to be doing that. Yeah, I mean you've heard about the Afghan soldiers who got killed by a supposed Nephilim, right?
Yeah,
War.
and I also heard about it happening in like Operation High Jump with in the Antarctic. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Like
Nazis
Admiral-
living in Antarctica, going into the
Yeah.
center. They have they have the opening to the inner Earth over there underneath
well,
their feet.
Admiral Byrd apparently came in contact with what like people said were like Nephilim with actual technology. It's like or aliens or whatever you want to call it. You know what I mean?
I'm
but,
familiar with the saucers and whatnot that destroyed the entire naval fleet. I'm familiar with the theories the Nazis are living under the Antarctic ice cap. They also go on talking about the Nazis are up on the moon too already.
No, they just
The
they said
Nazis
they
are
were going to
living
the
in
moon.
Mexico.
They said they were going to the moon last year. Last year they said we're going to the moon, and I was like excited. I was like, oh, finally they're going to try to go to the fucking moon for the first time in my lifetime. They're going to the moon, and now just like last week they announced we're actually just doing a loop around the moon. We're not going to the moon. We're just going to do a loop around it, which is very annoying, and it just. Yeah, they're never going to space. It's never happened.
What do you think about the first moon landing and the astronauts talking about the moon ringing like a bell when the lander touched down?
Bullshit.
And then the UFO.
I mean,
Bullshit.
I wasn't convinced that they actually even landed. Like at least the footage. I'm not convinced the footage was real. I wouldn't be surprised if like you know, something else happened that we don't know about. But for them to like get taped back and forth through the Van Allen radiation belt at that time, and like they were like apparently communicating with it. There's a million reasons why that footage is discreditable, but I don't know. Who knows, dude? Who knows? This is a schizophrenic episode. Chancey, you got to change the name of this episode to pure schizophrenia. Make it hip hop, flip flopping thoughts. Like I'm schizophrenic. That's what the episode name is.
Rosie, what religion are you?
I'm not.
You're not religious? You're not even like spiritual?
Yeah, but I'm not religious.
She's in LA, dude. She's in the belly of the beast, dude. There's no they have.
Look, I'll defend Rose. I'm also not religious.
Rosie, can you explain to us how far your spirituality goes?
No.
Why not?
No.
Why not?
Why not, Rosie? What do you believe in, Rosie?
You don't have to do it. You don't have to do it, dude. You don't have to answer these questions. Chancey, you have to answer these questions. What do you believe in, dude?
I believe everything's a coincidence.
I don't believe in any coincidences. No such thing.
This is you.
Yeah, but you're just a baby, dude. You're just a little boy, a little man.
Ask me again in like 10 years.
What if I put a gun to your head? I got a gun to your head right now. I got a big gun. It's a giant gun. You're looking down the barrel of my big ass elephant gun, and like you're looking at death. Like death is not even. It's not even funny anymore. We're not even playing. Like I'm seriously about to fucking kill you. Murder. Lights out, dude. Lights out. Forever. Are you gonna pray or not?
No.
You have the heart. That's nice, dude.
Honestly, still, it's better to believe in nothing to rather than have some belief in like having a better life after this one?
What?
If you go agnostic and you just like,
I'm
I don't
not. I'm
believe
not
in
going that.
anything.
I ain't doing that shit. I have so many friends
Like,
that
what's
are
the
agnostic.
point?
And it's
What's the
like,
point? What's the point in believing in nothingness and being a nihilist like Nietzsche, being a nihilist like Nietzsche, and saying nothing matters, there's no reason to anything, it's all coincidences. Like, that's
so,
so self-defeating almost in a lot of ways.
I guess to you, but to me, it's like, okay, I'm gonna make my time on.
Well, all
I
right. So
have.
if no, I mean, like, that's honestly not even an acceptable answer, just as like a man. You know what I mean? Like, so you're just saying it's all like nothing. We're just like floating through space. Everything's random. Nothing means anything. That's
Wait,
not even real. Like, nobody
environment.
believes that.
I do.
No,
I
no,
mean,
no. You believe in like evolution, that we came from monkeys? That's just crazy. They taught us that in like when I was a child. Nobody really believes that.
I don't know. It seems kind of dumb. I really don't care. Like, that's
That's
the thing.
cool.
I just don't care. I'm just trying
That's
to.
that's about it.
I'm trying to make my own heaven on earth. Okay, that's what I'm trying to do. Whatever, how long I got on this planet, trying to make the best of
Rosie,
it.
what were you saying?
That's really it.
I like that way of thinking. Just don't, because it doesn't really matter. I mean, sorry, maybe it does. But
Speak with your
Who
chest.
knows, dude? Who knows? I mean, there's like, it's nice to I think that if you are practicing prayer, it's nice to have something specific to pray to. And if you don't, then it doesn't really do anything. And you're just like praying to a higher power. It's just like, you know what I mean? You might as well just, make something else up and just do whatever you want. But
If
if
nothing,
you do, if you believe in a God, I guess, if you believe in a higher power, I guess really the only question is, do you believe in a God that cares or doesn't care? Because if you believe in a God that cares, then he has like morals. He has like, yo, yeah, thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not. There's a few rules that he believes are like the universal laws, and like there's like that's the whole basis for being a human. Or if you don't believe in a God that cares and it's just like, hey, do whatever you want. In fact, you should probably just fuck and do as much drugs as possible. Like, it's like just chase pleasure. It's all about
murder
hedonistic.
people, treat people bad,
Buy
mistreat your neighbors,
buy
and steal from
Camaro.
them. Buy a Camaro. Yeah, it's like if you believe in nothing, then you can justify doing evil to anyone because it doesn't matter, right?
I mean, I guess that's how you think of it. I feel like people that go to that conclusion were already bad people to begin with. If like,
I agree with that.
don't you think
That's a
that?
lot of people living in LA, though. That's a lot of people living in LA.
exactly. Yeah, fuck them.
I think that like if you believe that, Chancey, you're probably just like you're still young enough to be good. But when you live long enough to like have the choice to really be bad, and Rosie, you're probably still pure too. But like once you live long enough, once you're 30, 40, 50, whatever, you have to actually try to be good and you have to strive to be pure. And as you get closer to your old age, there's just more shit that collects. There's more negativity, there's more stress, there's more trauma, there's more things that just build up on you. And if you don't have like a belief system
I mean, I have
or a
I mean,
foundation,
I have a moral system. I have a moral
for what
compass.
you can't really have a moral system if you don't believe in God. There's no real like
Says
system.
fucking who? Says who?
Well, what's your
Like,
moral system? You tell me.
all right, don't fucking murder, don't rape. Don't
Wh-
just be a fucking decent human. Just
Why
because
why don't you murder? What's the reasoning for not murdering someone?
I think it's wrong. I think it's wrong to like end someone's life.
Okay, so like, but you believe in survival of the fittest. So if you got to stay alive, you're just gonna
I
gotta kill
don't.
to
I
stay
never said
alive.
that.
Well, what if you have to murder to stay alive?
I mean, then I guess I guess I'm dying or something. I'm not gonna murder someone just because like it'll better my chance of survival.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you've never been in a state where you have to like, it's like, I gotta like kill this dude or like
I think
I
most
gotta
I
do
think
something.
I think most people in their lives haven't been through that situation.
I think most people alive right now haven't, but I think most people for all of time up until just like the past 100 years have been in that situation.
Yeah, that's
And
a
I've been
long
in
ass.
that
Yeah,
situation.
that's a long ass time. I'm sorry you've had a horrible upbringing, guys. You know, I, I'm,
I think I've had the best upbringing. I've dude honestly had the best life ever. I have nothing sticks to me whatsoever. It's all good.
that's good.
But I truly believe there's no atheist in a foxhole. So I think when you're looking death in the eyes, you'll think differently about this whole conversation.
I mean, if that happens, you'll probably never know my conclusion. They'll be dead.
Who knows?
Who knows? Okay.
I don't. I think
Well,
the Lord knows, dude. The Lord knows, Transseed.
Okay.
does your grandmother go to Catholic mass, Chancey?
She doesn't really go out ever anymore, really.
Did your parents raise you Catholic?
Yeah. Yeah, I was baptized and all that stuff.
Does your mom still go to church, or
She does, yeah.
you living with
Yeah, my mom.
your dad?
She goes on, but only like holidays, really. She's like one of those type of Catholics.
I mean, you're familiar with the Bible then. I don't know. Chancey's got somewhat of a moral compass. There's definitely something to people who don't want to turn to God in being animals. Much more or less what Austin was talking about. Because if you just go by the world, we're animals at heart. And animals in the wild are just going to steal and kill each other and rape whenever they want, Like, they're not going to think about it. That's just their natural state.
Okay.
The reptilian mind.
I was raised not to do that.
I think
Yeah, you know why? You know why you were is because you grew up in like a Western culture that was based around Judo-Christian values. So, like, in fact, there's never been a society that was as successful. You got the closest things you've ever had to a successful empire like America or Canada or Europe or whatever you want
Western country, yeah.
It would be like Greek or Rome, and those like they were pantheons. They didn't have monotheist values. Some could argue that like monotheism is the only way that you could run a successful empire for more than just a couple hundred years, like, because right now we're proving that without it, there's nothing you can base a society on other than the 10 Commandments and basing your law and your culture and your legislation around these values that are actually just universal laws, God's laws.
Well, now they're amending the Constitution and the law to allow crime and allow murder in certain situations. They call it justifiable murder, and then start to get rid of.
Oh yeah. It is collapsing now. I mean, but what America was built on, like, and if they can destroy the Constitution, then the rest of this world will just collapse like dominoes. But we had something in place that was incredible. It's up to us if we're gonna, are we gonna bring out the steel, dude? We gonna get ready? You guys ready? You guys ready to strap up, dude?
It almost feels like there's no inevitability. I mean, it's basically, if you're gonna sit there and go from the Bible, God's gonna destroy this planet one way or the other. Is basically what it says. All of this is gonna come to an end, and He's gonna remake everything.
It also says that everybody's going to the same place if you really break it down, and also that the next judgment is by fire. So I think that people have like a really strong misconception of what like heaven's supposed to be like. Like the Orthodox Church teaches of heaven to be like, it's kind of like weird to explain, but all right, we've already gone full. And I don't even want this show to be like this, but I like it. I like this direction. If we're gonna do this, we're gonna do it. So in America, you think of heaven and hell. You're like, oh, the hell is the beings with the horns on their head. There's fire and they're stabbing you in pain and whatnot, whatever. It's like the Hollywood's interpretation of hell. But in reality, if we're all going to the same place, what hell is going to be like is a subjective experience of this place that we're at. So we're internal beings, and I think that like, you can get to that understanding. It took me like mass amounts of psychedelics to where I left my body. I could float around and see things. I could see behind myself, through myself. DMT, you know what I mean, just melt the world around you until you go to a golden palace and that breaks down and there's people laughing at you. And I really had to like, I didn't believe in anything to the point where I went all out with the nonsense. But I think that if you get to that point where you believe that there is something more to here, and every decision you make here actually leads to infinity, so like everything you do here leads to the next life, then what the real interpretation of heaven is like, we're all going to just be in the presence of God, right? So some people are going to enjoy it. We're all in the same place. Some people are going to be like able to walk on the grass and it's going to feel like chinchilla fur, just bliss, silk touching their toes. And then other people that were so corrupted while they were here on this planet, it's going to feel like blades of glass burning their feet as they walk through it. And they're, you know what I mean? We're all in the same place, but there's going to be different experiences. So it's very important, the choices you make, because I used to wake up every day like completely miserable, like Brandon, where you wake up suicidal, wanting to die, and you have to get fucked up enough just to get through the day. And that's how Brandon lived every day, and I've been there. Or you can, figure out a way to, get on the opposite side of that. So I'm done rambling.
Isn't that in a way kind of like walking on broken glass? Like people who are experiencing severe drug addiction are very uncomfortable in their bodies on a daily basis.
You're gonna find God or die trying. It's like this the thing with people that are born with like the proclivity to addiction. They're either going to figure out how to handle that addiction or die in the process. So it's like you see a saint in the making. If you see someone struggling with addiction, they may or may not figure it out, but at least they're not like, at least their problem in the world isn't hurting everybody else around them. They're only hurting themselves. That's their demon.
I mean, you say that, man, but I've had plenty of crack addicts stealing the tools out of my truck and off my job sites to feed their habits. I'm not joking. I'm not joking.
I know you're not joking.
Part of why I'm homeless is because I've lost thousands of dollars in tools and had to spend weeks. This is what it is. I call my insurance company and my fucking deductible is like $10,000. I need them to steal my whole van in order to get any compensation. Right, and I asked them, what do I have to do?
You heard it here first, folks. Steel Dio's RV. If you're listening to this right now, he lives in the islands of Seattle.
I asked the insurance company what I could do to get a $100 premium, and they're like, it's going to cost you $1,000 a month. I'm like, you motherfuckers, like, I can't do shit. I just have to get my tools stolen. I can't pay that much in insurance to cover myself. And I got to be working weeks for free to replace my tools, to go to work the next week to pay my fucking rent. And then the rent gets behind, and then I'm fucking in a situation running my tail around to the point I'm here where I'm at now. And
that's why we're going to start the Patreon here, folks. We're going to start the Patreon here in the next few months. It's coming. And if you wanna donate to this show,
if you want to donate to a project where me and Austin steal Dio's RV so you can get the insurance money.
Thanks for the insurance money. You're gonna drive it off a cliff.
Yeah, we're gonna drive it off a cliff. We're gonna go to In-N-Out. We're gonna do so many
If you
fun
wouldn't have
things.
brought that, if you didn't just bring that up on the show, I would have 1000% done it for you. But now it's not even a conversation.
Yeah,
we're
now you just fucking implicated yourself, man. They've got the recording now.
Oh no.
They're gonna know
I
what.
can't. That's Chancey. He's a young man. He's unexperienced.
Yeah,
He
that's
doesn't
true.
know how to get around the law. You don't ever admit to anything in the open public.
Well, that's
Chancey.
what people might need to do. They just implicate themselves online. Okay, I'm sorry, I'm
I would
young.
have split that with you. Out 30%. We could have worked something out. I would have taken it.
Yeah, it would have been like like a 30-80 or something.
Oh, you know what? Okay, so you want to do Raytheon? You know what the biggest problem right now is? Is that people can't get cities to like sweep up homeless camps. So what if like we started a group where people will go around and like burn down homeless people's tents so they're not like sleeping in your backyard anymore or anything like that.
Yeah, and then somehow we make like $1 million because of that.
$1 million. Yeah,
You know how I
like
made $1 million being up bums.
private homeless sweepers. Someone squatting in your house
We're
will
gonna-
burn it down for the insurance money.
We're gonna
Get rid of it.
We're gonna set homeless guys on fire. Me and Austin.
Somebody
So
somebody camping out in the alleyway behind your house will burn the tent down to get rid of them.
I used to do that in high school when I was part of the Mean Girl
No,
crew.
we actually have a squatter. I have a squatter issue. So I own a house. It's the house my mom lives in with my brother, and
Who's a squatter?
he just got. We have a squatter next door, and my brother buys weed from him sometimes. I'm gonna give the backstory real quick. So my brother got in a car accident the day before my birthday. He got hit, and his femur broke his hip, and it like shattered, and he had to get a plate with like 16 pins put in his hip, and so he's been buying weed from this guy next door, and this guy next door has like taken his money and disappeared for like 4 days, and then like brings weed. Like it's happened like 2 or 3 times now, and I was like, you gotta look into that, dude. You gotta keep up on that guy if you're doing that. And turns out, with a little bit of investigation, this guy was he's saying that like that was his grandma's house he took over, and he had his whole backstory. But my mom looked into it a little bit, and it's in some random guy's house who like just died, and this guy is just completely squatting, and he has like 2 pit bulls in the backyard. And like 5 in the morning, like last week, there was like a fight. Like 5 people were like fighting outside of their house, like a foot away from my brother's room. Like they're just like right outside his window. Just there's like a fight breaking out in the driveway because of the squatter living there.
This is awesome.
But yeah, dude, Statesville. North
It's becoming
Carolina.
across America because there's a lot of the real estate is in investor hands, and a lot of the houses just sit empty because they don't want to deal with renters. But the squatting issue is blowing up to the point it's like it's making national news at
It's a
this
life
point.
hack.
In Seattle, have you heard of the independent Moorish movement?
I blame BlackRock, and that sounds Jewish, so I don't like it one bit.
It is a Jew thing, but there's the independent Moors. There's a bunch of people coming from Africa now, and they're saying that the Moors had landed in America way before the the Mayflower or anything, and that this is really Moorish sovereign territory. And so there's been a rash of squattings within Washington of these people who are like newly immigrated from the Ivory Coast and shit, and they're like, well, we're taking it over because Moorish independence, and there's all these squatters, and you can never get rid of these people, too. It ends up being this big legal battle, and, like, even if you get them out, they can just come back, and you got to go through the processes again. I think burning down houses,
it's a real life
insurance
hack.
money,
It's a real
is
life hack.
there. Real life hack,
It's a
yeah.
real life hack. Just
I
squat. I'm surprised you haven't. I'm surprised you haven't thought of that.
Dude, no, I have houses marked on my Google Maps, and I've already looked up the tax
Don't
record.
implicate yourself right now. Don't.
Trust me, I've been trying to grift on free real estate for many years, but there's no free lunch, and usually if land is sitting empty, there's someone coming around at some point to check on it, and I really just want to have stability. I don't want to have. I mean, so this is something I wanted to say earlier on. It's like, even if you don't believe in God, I think at least you should be believing in karma. And even though there is this idea in my head to go and be a squatter somewhere and try to take land through adverse possession, I don't necessarily want the karma coming back on me, stealing something from someone else.
You gotta
Damn,
hustle,
dude,
man.
I feel you, bro. I feel that so much. There's been times where I've really just wanted to go live in a tent and just like fuck off with everything. Let me just go set up a tent and just set up, or like run in this house that I know is vacant that has electricity still, and just really just drop out. Like, why keep fighting? I could just get opiates until I die. You know what I mean? It's honestly a pretty great method. It's like, if you just want to have a good life, just do opiates until you die. It's honestly pretty fucking sweet, and
I
that's
heard
why.
that first guy,
That's what people.
Plaza 20XX, like
That's
life
what
kit.
people don't know. That's really what people don't realize. These guys are just in pure euphoria until they disappear. And
Euphoria
I
and
get-
being a bottomless pit and a drain on society, while everyone else
Yeah.
is trying to do what little work they can to uphold the infrastructure and all the other services that are necessary for those people squatting in that house to continue to.
Well, that's where I
power.
was going. I was just emphasizing that part of it, but that's where I was headed. Yes, and then you fight against it. You get out of that pit. You know what I mean? You get through the darkness to get to the garden. Yeah, and I wasn't
I
trying
think
to.
a life well lived in doing things that are purposeful, I get way more satisfaction out of finishing a job or just finishing a project for myself, or even doing something constructive instead of spending my day idly chasing it away, trying to stay in a state of euphoria to drown out the pain and the numb feelings I have from an unpurposeful life.
What kind of projects are you doing? What are you working on?
Today I started tearing down one of the RVs that had been left derelict on the property. I'm going to finish that tomorrow, get it down to the frame, and then I'll start on the next one that I got from John and drove over the last couple weeks. And those two RV chassis, once I get them down to the frame, I'm going to build two tiny house units. Like, the back one will be kind of like a living room, sleeping area, and the front one would be like the kitchen, bathroom. And then I have a tractor I bought here a couple months ago, and that'll be the thing to haul both of them. I got to get myself, I'm trying to get out of the RV and into a more refined living situation, because my current predicament is like, I don't have running water, I don't have a heater, I don't have a shower, so I'm living rough. I have to bucket my water in and go shit in a bucket, and I want to be living
You
in
ever
a
get
situation.
confused about which bucket is the shower bucket and which one's the shit bucket?
No, I go over to Pastor Chris's house to use the shower and do laundry and wash my dishes.
Oh.
That's wild that you have Wi-Fi, but you have to shit in a bucket.
Yeah, I know, right? This
so
whole
wild.
thing, like, I'm living on this old woman's property, and I do all, like, the lawn maintenance, and I do housework for her as far as, like, fixing things and whatnot, clean off the roofs and the gutters, the normal yearly bullshit. And I don't want to invest any money into anything I can't take with me, because she reversed mortgaged this house to the bank, and I'm not gonna like dig in plumbing and put in a hot water heater and all this other bullshit and spend my money here on fucking the bank's property. So I'm living rough while I can, and soon enough I'm gonna be out of this situation. But I started.
We're gonna make it happen, dude, and you guys can donate to the show to help Di get out of this shit right here.
$10 you give,
I don't
give him $1.
I don't need anything from you guys. Whatever you give
We're not
me
gonna
from
give it to you. We're just gonna tell people we're giving it to you.
Oh
No,
yeah,
we're just using you. We're that's a
Yeah,
grift.
yeah, we're never
Do you
gonna
want
get none
cancer
of it.
child funds your whole fucking foundation so you can give 10% to charity?
We're giving 0.
Well, you're the 10% we're giving to charity.
10%.
I don't know, man. Technically, if you're gonna like put me on a fundraising picture, I could contact the federal government if you don't give me 10%.
We'll give you 33% if you come on every week.
We'll give you 3 popsicles.
3 popsicles.
33%. We're gonna use you to replace Pools. This is gonna happen. That we're gonna replace Pools with Aya, and then if you can do this every week, we'll have people start giving $1 in like 6 months. We'll have people start giving $1, and then maybe in like 2 years it'll equal like $100, $200.
Yeah, we're gonna have enough money to buy a Civil War cannon, so you can just start
And I don't
destroying
even want
people's
any.
houses.
I don't even want any of the money. We'll maybe a couple of Civil War cannons, antiques, but I just like hanging out with you guys. I'll give my 33% to
Me.
Chansey.
Yeah, I'll give my 33% to Chansey, but he has to like be spending his time video editing and cutting down stuff. You gotta.
Fucking.
Do you do any video editing for this channel, Chansey, or who are you guys getting to make clips and stuff?
So I hired this Filipino guy named Arthur. He's not like an immigrant, but I used to work with him at Starbucks, and he's like
a virtual assistant technically.
Yeah, he's virtually like a person, to be fair.
Virtual assistants, you can get a pretty good prices on them. You can get the ones in South America, Mexico.
Yeah.
They're a little bit more
Anyways,
expensive.
he's like he's like my neighbor, so I just like tell him, hey, you make funny TikToks.
You
know,
that's good.
Yeah, I don't pay him anything. All I have to really do is just cuddle with him once a week, which I don't like.
Any money you don't give to me, put it back into the channel.
And then I'll put
That's
that into my Camaro fund.
You keep investing any dollars you get back into the channel for a couple years, and eventually that super chat starts again. Yeah, and then you get the Camaro. Get that super chat money. Read comments. All we have to do is sit here and talk long enough until people want to donate to make us talk about a topic.
Or even
then it's
better,
like,
donate us so we can shut up.
Don't ask. I see a lot of these people on YouTube, and it's like half of the influencers who get big enough, they don't really need to even like structure a show because people will just fucking donate content for them to talk about.
Yeah, I know, man. Like, me and Austin, busting our ass in the writing room, writing this whole episode out. Everything here is not improvised at all, guys. Everything here was planned.
Painstaking.
Yeah.
Painstaking.
Yeah. This whole episode was a script.
Yeah.
I just like to congratulate everyone for playing your parts, Rosie. You did really good with your lines.
Yeah, thanks, Rose.
It's a big deal that we have Rosie back too, and we haven't acknowledged it.
I mean, it's exactly what's gonna happen. That's what she was complaining about, you know.
Yeah.
Anyways, like what Dia was
Hey,
saying.
Rosie, can you give us any words of wisdom to close out the show?
I won't even do the
Words
thing. I won't even do the thing. You have the floor.
So,
Did you guys see Chansey's last outro?
Yeah, we got to before the outro, Rosie. You have to give us your parting words of wisdom.
That's great.
I don't know. I appreciate being here.
Wonderful.
Hey, you're out the show,
Yeah.
man. Fuck you. I'm sorry, guys. I can't take this.
You can't what?
I can't take this, man. You're off the show.
Well, if you guys are just joining us, go back and watch last episode, but don't watch the whole last episode. Just go to the very end of the last episode and watch Chansey's outro.
Oh, yeah, that's great.
That was the best thing we've done.
Are you doing another outro like that today?
No.
Oh.
That's
Why
disappointing.
I'll look
You're
live.
the outro, Rosie. You're taking us out. You got the final words. Go ahead.
Yeah, I got the final word.
I really don't know.
Oh my god. Just talk just talk about anything. God damn.
Okay. I just drank a bottle of water.
Nice.
Hydration is
I bet it was alkaline.
in the words of the illustrious JJ. In the words of the illustrious JJ, proper hydration is the key to good skin
Here's the
and a
last
good life.
here's the last
And
point I wanna
JJ
bring up.
JJ is the man, and I actually got close with JJ working on the new Andy Dick show, and he is the man, and I'll have
Love
no
to-
mockery in his name.
Love to Julius Lee, John Links.
Yeah, everyone watched
John
that stream. He's probably live
He's
right
the
now.
best, dude.
Watch that.
He really is the best. He's the best streamer
Owner.
on the planet right now. Nobody else is a better streamer. He is the best streamer.
Jake's
I hope
not
that
even
maybe-
streaming right now. He like goes live once a month at this point.
He
His
was
new
li-
girlfriend.
He was
Yeah.
live yesterday. I mean,
That's
Was
one of the
he?
reasons he's so
Yeah.
good. He's random. He doesn't have any consistency, and when he streams, he just goes on like crazy walks at 2 a.m. where he just walks around. He just goes on his own adventures, and whatever he does is great.
I'm glad JJ got a girlfriend. She's actually like pretty cute too and taking care of him. So he's living a good life right now.
Yeah.
He's living his best.
Yeah, shouts out to JJ, big fan. But we have started a war with the IP2 guys.
We
Somebody
did?
here did that earlier.
We did.
That was Chancey.
I don't remember
That was Chancey, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I don't care,
Elisa
man.
Stan, she's the
And
one who was
Chicken
dating Dick.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that was why. And Chicken didn't answer our phone call tonight.
Yeah,
Chicken
His
didn't
phone
answer.
doesn't work
he's
anymore.
busy kissing dudes.
Trash, dude. IP2 in the trash. We're taking over. Coming for
We're
y'all.
taking over. We're gonna take you down, Elisa. Yeah, Chicken's
Yeah,
out there
next-
trying.
We're tired
Chicken's
of
out
it.
there.
We're tired.
Sorry, go ahead.
No. We're done. This is the end of the show, dude. What's happening?
Okay,
Where are we at?
I'm just gonna. We're at like 6 hours.
7 hours. All right.
All right.
Felt like 6.
All right.
This is it. We gotta call it. We have to end it.
What a great show.
Yeah.
The best show ever.
Yeah. Good night, America.